you know, the Liberals and along with the Bloc and the NDP is like, oh, we don't, none of this, we've never ever had the intent of interfering with sport shooting and hunting. Well, of course, they don't say sport shooting anymore because they pretty much destroyed sport shooting in Canada. It's over. You can't buy, sell, or transfer or import a handgun now. So it's, the handgun sports are dying a slow death. And all of the sports shooting that had AR-15s and XCRs and tens of thousands of dollars that people invested to engage in sports shooting and 3-gun and all that stuff, they banned all those guns. You can't even use them. So now people are like shooting with 22s. And guess what? In the amendments, basically all the 22s with removable magazines that are ergonomic in any way were on that ban list, like the GSG-16 and the Chris Vector 22. These are purpose-built. These are not variants or derivatives from the actual firearm frame of the full-size firearms, right, that they might look like. So anyway, all that to say, it keeps, oh, no, we don't intend to interfere in hunting, but you can see the disdain for hunters. And Pam Damoff is one of the best.
Because we want to listen.
Right? She can't control it. Every once in a while, it just slips, and she's like, hunters, right? You and your trophies. So anyway, this clip I'm going to show you was from CCFR this past week, and this is Pam Damoff referring to, she won't ask a question directly to Jim Shockey, one of the most accomplished hunters in history, like on the earth right now, right? And a really passionate, insightful guy when it comes to ecosystems in the natural world. Like if you met Jim, you'd see that. He's just really, he's a remarkable individual. And so she wants to make a comment. She does not a question to Jim, but just make a comment about how frivolous having Americans and people coming from all over the world to come and hunt in Canada, which is one of the ways that Indigenous communities in the North and communities of any racial or societal makeup make a living up there, right? We have some great natural resources, and there's a lot we can do to support our remote communities, and they do that through guiding, through outfitting. And if you ban these guns that Americans are bringing, or ban guns that they're used to, then they're going to be like, why do I want, and put all these crazy restrictions on there for no demonstrable real benefit to public safety. People are just going to stop coming. They're going to be like, Canada's crazy. I'm not going to go there. I'm going to go somewhere else. I'm going to go to Africa. I'm going to go to some other country. Just like in the resource sector, where businesses are like, why would I go to Canada? It's unstable politically. Look at the people who are running it. Look at how they behave. So anyway, that's enough of a long intro, but check out how she treats somebody that really understands hunting. And then the second part of this clip, is just kind of a throwback to her podcast or whatever, online meeting that she recorded and put on her YouTube channel of her with Alan Drummond from the Doctors for Protection from Guns, and just how much they just despise hunters. Check it out.
I just want to clarify something that Mr. Shockey mentioned. If the amendments had been passed, there would have been 19,000 models with over 100,000 variations of firearms available. My understanding is there's 20 million AR-15s in the United States. They've been restricted since '77 and banned since 2020 in Canada. So the doom and gloom for the industry seems quite misplaced. And I just want to say guns commonly used for hunting are very different than trophy hunting in Africa to bring trophies for your trophy wall, or bringing Americans to the north to get trophies for their trophy wall. So I'll leave it there, Chair.
Thank you. Mr. Shockey, if you wish to respond, go ahead.
Yeah,
Chair, it wasn't a question.
Oh.
My time is
I think in fairness, he should get to respond.
Yeah, I think that's an untruth. The firearms that they use in Africa and the firearms we use here are virtually the same. There's no distinction, and it's not trophy. It's about hunting. It's the process, the journey, not a kill. So trophy hunting is a little bit of a derogatory comment when it's used like that.
Thank you. On y va maintenant.
So, I think it's time to change the attitude. I think it's time to accept what Canadians are saying, which is, the days of, hunting for your family and providing for your family. Yeah, I mean, to a certain extent it happens, but let's be real. People do not go and, shoot 20 deer and feed their family venison every night. First of all, the family would reject that because venison's not that great. And so it's time, I think, that we acknowledge what Canadians are saying, which is the days of the, of the pioneer lifestyle, they're long since gone. And we want to see a restriction on these types of firearms. We want to see a restriction.
That's just amazing, right? It's like people like Pam Damoff and Talib Nur Muhammad and Peter Julian and Christina Michaud over at the Bloc. That other guy, remember the gray-haired guy with the Bloc? He voted with the Liberals to keep the amendments in scope. All these people, it's just amazing. They're like, well, I don't hunt. I don't understand how people make a living in the North. I don't understand other people's identities. I don't identify with it. Forget it. We'll just use the government to wipe them out. Just who cares? It's going to make me feel good and I might win another election.
If you don't stand up for your own ability to own and use firearms, who will? Join the CCFR or donate right now at www.firearmrights.ca.